Welcome to my messy life. Take my hand and dive right on in with me. It's gonna be alright. Messy imperfect life with Leigh.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Messy Imperfect Life podcast. I am so beyond excited right now because this is my first podcast with a human being, with Miss Mo Collins. Let's hear it for her.
They're very generous calling me a human being. Thank you.
You are you are one of the most human beings that I know.
I try.
And so this is kind of new for me, and I'm so excited that you're here because
I'm happy to be here, Leigh.
I adore you.
I adore you. We've known each other a long time now.
How long?
I have known you for 20 years.
When did we first meet?
When you started dating Dave back then. Because, as you know, my cousin Jerry, being roommates of Dave in years gone by.
Oh, so did we know each other when Dave lived in the Coke House?
I used to go to parties there, yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. He lived in the Coke House,
Yep.
not only because we were doing cocaine, but because...
You know, here's what's funny.
You weren't?
No, and I always thought that was such a hilarious name.
Well, that was the name they chose for it when they moved into it.
Because it looked like, it looked like a Coke house. But no one I knew was doing Coke.
No,
we
were.
Okay, I was new to LA. I didn't know what Coke was. Not really.
You kind of knew.
No, not really.
Really?
Not really. I knew it was a drug.
Where were you from?
Minnesota. It's like I didn't really know what Coke was, how people do it. You know, is it the one with the spoon? Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I didn't really understand
until you do
Coke.
it, you don't know it.
Yeah, I learned.
It's kind of like me.
I learned later on.
You wanted to wait to get that.
Yeah,
teaching?
I made sure that, for Google to be introduced to the world so I could figure out how it works.
Oh my gosh. That's kind of like me with heroin. That would be me like, is that the one with the spoon that they heat up and they inject it?
Yeah, and that's how I am with heroin now. I don't know other than, well, it's not good for your teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, or crystal meth, I think too.
Yeah,
Scabs
don't know the
teeth.
diff.
Scabs and teeth.
Don't know the diff.
So did you go to college?
I did one semester, and then I was given the option to leave.
What happened?
I was at St. Catherine's, an all-girl Catholic college in Minnesota, and I wanted to be an artist, a visual artist, and I was prepared actually to go to an art school, and my parents wanted me to go to this Catholic college. At any rate, I still applied my art to the walls of the dorms.
Oh.
And I got caught because little Mary turned us in one night. And it was beautiful artwork in the hallways.
Wait a second. So graphic art is like graphic art, did you say? Or hand drawing or what?
Oh, yeah. We did pastels, these large, beautiful drawings and poems and things. And
oh, I love it.
Oh, it was beautiful. And it's chalk, so it washes right off.
But that got you in trouble.
It did.
Enough to get kicked out.
Yeah, they just said, are you willing to change? And I said, no.
Well, what a wonderful gift is that?
Yeah, it was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Did you go to
one of the best things?
Did you go to
one of the best? My failing in my own direction, failing upwards to myself, I should say.
Yeah.
Some might call it a failure to have been sort of kicked out of college, but I failed in the right direction. All those failures led me closer to who I am.
Absolutely.
And so I needed those fails.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, me too.
I love too that in the time it feels devastating. You're getting kicked out and your parents are upset and like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Horrible.
Why can't you just be normal?
Yeah. It was most upsetting because by that 6 months in college, I had built this wonderful group of friends, but college doesn't determine whether or not you stay,
No.
in touch with people. So we were still friends, and I got to move towards myself.
I love so much that they said, can you change?
You willing to change?
Are you willing to change? And you said no. Because the only way I could stay here is to do this kind of art to get through.
I just did what I think I'm supposed to be doing, and I got in trouble for it. So
I love that so much. Like having the perspective now that the things that we try and we fail or we get kicked out or we're rejected or we're shit upon or we're whatever it is, that ends up, I call that like the breadcrumbs. It's like we get these little breadcrumbs, and if you follow them, or if you don't even follow them, but you can look back and see them and go, oh, that's what got me here.
Totally.
Without that, I would still be
absolutely. But it was terrific. I didn't have to have guilt about my parents losing money on it. It's like I wasn't going to class. I was a terrible student. On top of it, I didn't want to be there.
Did you party? Were you drinking and stuff then?
Oh my goodness! I won
drunk.
every chug contest that there
did
was.
too.
Oh, give me a picture.
You did too?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I won the chug contest at Kansas State University 2 times, outbeating like a football player.
Yeah, that's what my friend Suzanne would get the challenges going for me in the bar. She'd go up to the bar and see some big guy. And, we thought we were John Belushi at the time, right? And
kind of were, probably.
So without words, and then she would just give me the wink from the bar. I'd walk up, without words, always without words, because it was more fun and dramatic and Belushi. And she would have gotten money from whoever was taking the bet. And then I would just grab the pitcher and chug it down and win.
The pitcher!
And walk away. No words. Yeah.
That is a right. I think mine were always just mugs.
Oh, no, I did pitchers.
Oh, my gosh. So
I still remember how it felt to open up my throat like that.
I know.
Yeah.
I could open my throat.
I was drowning myself to win.
It was worth it.
It was.
Because back then, that was like...
That was a thing.
It was a thing. And I was like walked around cocky on campus because of it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like I'm all that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see me last night at Brothers?
Yeah. I'm the lady that chugs them down and wins.
Damn.
Yeah, that was big stuff. That was terrific.
That's strong, but that's also like a little foreshadowing.
Yes.
Of for both of us, a little foreshadowing that there will be drinking.
Yes.
In our lives, and it doesn't always serve us, but gosh damn it, we have some fun.
God, I had some fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm still having fun. See, are you drinking?
I do drink, yes.
A little bit.
Yes, I have. I did the 3 years sober.
Yeah.
I went through starting in 2007.
Because you were drinking your ass off?
I very much needed to change my life and get control of it. And so, but now it's all different. It's like age, health, all these different reasons. I really kind of can't drink like that anymore, you know? I don't want to, I
don't want to, I think, is the big part.
Yeah, I can only have, what is that, Corona Premier, which has like nothing to it. That's like the only thing I can drink.
Just because it's easier on your stomach?
If I'm gonna partake with people, it's got to be that, or
it hurts.
I'm such a lightweight now. I don't like the next day. I just I can't really. I just don't want it. Anything else, it's like one glass of wine. Even if it's going to be a longer night with friends or something, I can't have that glass of wine because to have more than one glass of wine is trouble. It's just not good. It is.
It's trouble.
Whereas if I do this Premier, which it's like it's not a heavy beer, it's a light beer. And then also I'm drinking water in between it with it too.
Gosh, dang it.
So that's what I drink if I'm having a longer night of people drinking.
A beer and a water, another beer.
But a glass of wine, more than a glass of wine, it's just not great. And certainly not anything heavy anymore.
So the drinking thing, because that's something that I still struggle with. And if I'm going through a hard time, I want to drink, and then I drink a lot. And I don't do it very often anymore, but sometimes I get hammered.
Yes.
And I wake up going, I'm 50 frickin' 2 years old.
It's maddening.
Seriously?
Maddening. Yeah.
But then at the same time, I don't want to stop. I don't want to throw in the towel.
Well, but what are you throwing the towel in on?
Going out with friends.
Why does it have to be alcohol? That's the question, is that you can still go out and be in your 50s and have a great time with your friends.
Without getting
And you
drunk?
can even stay out late. Do you know what I mean? You can dance real hard. You can crank up the music. You can do all of the things that you love to do, but I think you're giving alcohol the credit
for my greatness.
Yes.
But I could just do that's right. I could just do all of those
You're
things.
giving the alcohol the credit.
Alcohol, that's such an interesting
And then
thing.
at the same token, you're letting alcohol be the thing that beats you up too.
Yeah.
That next day, the thing that you're giving it all the power.
Yeah.
You can do all of those things, Leigh, without the alcohol.
Yeah, I did 6 months once.
Yeah.
I was going to stop for a year.
I think I remember that.
I did 6 months.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember it was so funny because so much of my life and my relationships and my friendship and my family has all been around the drink.
Yeah.
Everything. And, my mother was a recovered alcoholic and got pills, and my dad drank, but not like an alcoholic. So my siblings all tear it up.
Yeah.
Like the groups tear it up. And I found like the more I'm loving myself and doing self-care and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't fit so much anymore.
Right.
But something about me doesn't want to lose it altogether. I don't know if I'm equating alcohol with the fun, rambunctious, high kick split girl, or...
I think it's probably part of that, but also, you can teach yourself to, you should give yourself the opportunity to prove to yourself that it doesn't have to be
all or nothing.
This all or nothing,
Yeah.
Take yourself and your friends out, whatever, and try the other way.
Make a game plan.
Try it without drinking, or try it with no more than 2. With water in between. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It is kind of when I do it unconsciously or not mindfully. Yeah. Or I have a game plan, or I remind myself how I want to feel and how I want my life to be. Yeah. I just go, wow! Yeah. I'll have another one. And I don't have the water in between. But I think it would be good for me to bring mindfulness back into cocktailing.
Yes. And that's where you're also going to learn whether or not you can have it at all right now.
Yeah. Because when I go through funks is when I hit the...
Well, I know that...
Where I get that...
Back when I had to quit drinking, to have one was to have all of them.
To have all of it. That's right.
Absolutely. All of them and then some.
And I have known you through all of that.
Yeah.
I remember right before you... I think we were hanging out, me, you, and Andy Dick somewhere at a hotel. I honestly don't remember, but we were somewhere. Maybe it was a comedy festival or something.
Oh, maybe in Chicago?
Oh, maybe I
comedy
just passed
festival
you by an elevator.
I know, right?
I don't remember, but I just remember, or I know he was at the Coke House a lot, Andy Dick. So maybe it was that. I don't know. But I just remember that we have both been on a, we're both pretty hardcore. I think we're both pretty strong.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
Yes.
Up for an awesome belly laugh.
Yeah.
As well as bawling.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
Really experiencing all of life.
Yeah, yeah. Full throttle. No matter which direction.
Do you know
what I mean? It is. It's full throttle. You just have to watch which direction it's headed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes we don't get to control that direction.
No.
That's
right.
Life in its flow. But in the ways that we can control the direction of that throttle,
full throttle, man. It is for us. I think that's boogie.
Yeah, I mean, those are the ways that I guess we grow, and I don't know.
And the one thing that I'm getting that I have to remember faster is that the only thing we have control over is how we respond to anything
completely, and
how we are with ourselves during it.
Yes, that is ultimately the only thing we really have control over. Yeah.
It's like, I think if I could get there faster too. I was talking and when I was talking in the last podcast to myself, I was saying that suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable. And I think the suffering is when you go down where you beat yourself up, or you treat yourself like shit, or you voices in our head,
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. You got to limit that.
Yeah.
The pity party. Which isn't to say that the pity party doesn't have some value. I think it actually does for a moment.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I think it's best to keep that pity party of one.
Yeah.
Not to
drag people in it.
To drag people into it. But take that moment and yes, pamper yourself, pat your poo-poo lip it, whatever.
I'm not familiar with poo-poo, pamper
poo-poo lip. I think I'm just making that
You're
up.
making that up.
Boo-boo lip?
I liked it.
Boo-boo lip.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
Like
What's
pouty
poo-poo
lip?
lip? Poo-poo lip. That's, again, why I
That's
needed
hot.
to stop drinking.
Girl, it's
No,
Now green tea gets you like that?
I don't,
Couple sips and you're just effed.
I know, effed out my mind.
Okay, so this podcast is part of the reason what we're talking about right now is the messiness of it all. And that we're human, right?
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. So I sent Mo this little paper thing with questions, and I said, what has been messy in your life? And she wrote, what hasn't?
All caps.
All caps. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
what
bigger
hasn't?
messes in my life have involved, marriage and alcohol and health.
Yeah.
Marriage, right? Because you're on your second.
I'm on my second.
How's this one going?
This one's terrific because I have a partner that communicates.
Oh, that's so important.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's we spend all of our time together pretty much, and have over the last 9 years, and yeah, it's about laughter and communication.
I just have to say this because it's just in my head and wants to pop out so much. He's so darling.
Yeah.
He is such a big man.
Yes, he is. He's a big baby too.
Oh yeah, I think all men are.
Yeah. But I
think
mean,
all men are.
But he's from Jersey and I'm from Minnesota. Minnesota, things get shoved under the rug, right? And then I've got Jersey boy. That stuff is on the sleeves.
Oh,
every emotion, everything. Sometimes it's too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, it doesn't all have to be like that. Not everything has to be up to a 10.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, I'm so grateful for it because I have learned how to access my emotions a lot better. My Minnesota nature too, where it's like, oh, if I reveal that, people might not like me, or I might push him away, which definitely happened in my first marriage.
Yeah.
I didn't want to emasculate, right? So I didn't bring up until it was too late.
Yeah.
The things that should have really, really been looked at and worked on. I didn't do that. He didn't either. It takes two there.
Yeah.
But that did not happen in time.
Yeah.
And so now, I have this person who everything.
That makes me crack up. And he's a
Everything.
big ass man. Is he 6'4"?
6'4", 6'5", 6'5".
He's 6'5" and big broad shoulders
Yeah.
and loud and plays guitar and
Yep.
can sing and drinks and
He lives out loud.
he lives out loud.
He does. He lives out loud. And he's a really good person and with a huge heart.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he is that way. He turns some people off. They're afraid of him or something. They think he's perhaps quote unquote obnoxious. And it's like, no, you don't really know him then. You're looking at some odd surface. You're making a surface judgment about somebody without actually knowing who he really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime people judge,
Yeah.
Like, bye-bye. Not really,
Yeah.
but I'm like, it's,
No, I know,
when you
but-
judge, it has nothing to do with the other person.
But they do. They
Yeah.
do. It's...
It's all about them, though, projecting that they feel insecure and that they're going to
my
be
mother
afraid
doesn't
of
even acknowledge he exists.
Why?
Don't know.
What?
Yeah.
You've been together 9 years?
Yeah. It's funny when they first met, she loved him. She was flirty with him, in that gross way that a mother can be flirty with your then boyfriend.
Oh,
but it's funny. The story that I stick with, and I absolutely believe it's true, was when I was in the hospital back in 2011, and Alex had been on the cancer journey with me, right? He was the one coming to the doctor and everything. And then came time to the big surgery, and mom and dad flew out for it. And I was really looking forward to it because my mother and I had been having nice, supportive conversations and everything. And the moment it switched, where everything switched for her, was when the surgeon came out and went to Alex and not to her. And her terms of endearment storyline got broken. She, I believe, was wanting to be in the hero seat. And that was already occupied by Alex.
wow.
And so in that moment, she just went, excuse me, I'm the mother. And, Alex, even a few minutes later, because it was good news, he was like trying to comfort her, like, isn't this wonderful? And she just says, you will never know what it's like to be a mother, just horrible things. And from that moment on, She hated it. Even when I was in the hospital, she was terrible. She was terrible. They ended up leaving early. It was horrible.
Wow.
But from that moment, and so now when confronted with the question, which I did before we were married, I just said, why? And all she can say is, oh, don't get me started. Because there's nothing that the good Catholic woman can say that makes sense that anybody else would agree with. So she has not acknowledged him.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And how is that?
It's terrible.
And do you see her?
Sure, I do.
So you go home?
Yeah, I go because, you know, I have a wonderful relationship with my dad that I want to keep, but I'm pretty mad at her. I'm pretty, you know, I mean, I've certainly gone my life. We've never really gotten along. But yeah, it's very hurtful. Like Christmas card comes and it's only addressed to me. Like, really? Really, Miss Catholic?
It seems so young.
You can't send a Christmas card to both of us?
It seems like a stomping baby.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's like that.
But that's who she is. That's her mental illness.
Is she mentally ill?
I believe that's part of a mental illness. Yeah. To latch on to a narrative somewhere in your head that really actually goes so far against, she builds it into a way that the narration somehow, like she could probably maybe with her friends say, oh, he's got tattoos, he smokes cigarettes, you know, it's like these things. And to that I would say your brother, who is now since passed, did both those things. He was, you had him so high on a pedestal.
Yeah.
You
so
loved that
she
person.
Can't say that story.
You loved that person,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, it was that moment that everything turned. And so I know what it was.
Have you had it all, because we know that she's mentally ill, or we know that she's stuck in her little girl
Yeah.
can't crawl out pattern of being a hurt little girl? Have you had any like healing or letting go of that? Because
Oh, completely.
Yeah. So it's just something you know and it hurts, but it's not like...
When I married Alex and...
How did you marry? Did you elope or...
Oh, no, we did it here, just a small wedding. But, you know, I told her, I said, you're not welcome unless you can support this. Of course, she showed up anyway. And what did she do? She looked down the entire time.
Oh.
She got up in front of his children when they were walking with him to down the little, you know, aisle. And, she walked away when the kids went up to say hello. So in that moment I went, this is my family.
Oh.
Alex, his children, you know, this is worth protecting.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to allow myself, I'm not going to put my family in front of her anymore for that and be treated like that anymore.
For you.
And I'm not going to allow myself to be treated like that
Good for
anymore.
you.
You know, I'd done that so many times growing up and through my life, but that was a definitive where it's like, oh no, no more.
And I feel too like things creep up on you like that. Like at that moment that you said no more. Yeah. You remembered, holy shit, this has been going on a long time, but we placate it because it's like we're just navigating life every day.
Well, yeah, you don't want to.
Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm done with that.
I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't need that. And it's not welcome.
Yeah. So
it's no more. I will not maneuver my life anymore.
No.
You know, because of that. And I'm certainly not going to ask my family, my husband, his children to witness that anymore. It's ugly. Yeah. It's an ugliness that we just don't need.
I love that you have a good relationship with your dad and that you go back and love him. Yeah. And have your clear boundaries with her. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because as much as my mom passed like a year or two ago, I think a year ago. Yeah. But when she died, we had some nice closure, you know, a little wrap up. But I just remember, I forgot what I was going to say. I started thinking about her and then I was like, was it a year ago or 2 years ago? So we just have to put that on the side. No, but we actually had a great closing. Oh, I remember. I had this healing with her, whatever, and I had realizing that she's mentally ill and all of this kind of stuff, and had a really beautiful ending with her right before she died. A complete closure and appreciation and gratitude for her life.
That's amazing.
And I actually said to her, I said, you know, Mom, I want you to know that I got every lesson you came here to teach me, that you did your job so perfectly with me, that I am who I am today because of you, and I'm happy. thank you. And she got tears in her eyes and we're both crying. And she said,
whoa.
I'm so happy. And it was acknowledging her for, I believe, taking on the role of mental illness to set me up to feel neglected so I could go on this mission to let people know that you're not alone.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so I had this really beautiful thing with her. But I remember before she died and I would see her and I understood what was happening and everything. But still, there's always that little part inside of you. That's that little girl.
Of course.
Who loves your mother and wants her more than anything.
Yeah. Wants her.
Her, not her.
Approval.
Yeah, not the one that shows up for us, but the idea of what we think it can be.
It's the idea. I get plenty of approval. I don't need it from her.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
What would you say, because you did say what hasn't been a mess, what do you think your biggest, I don't even know the answer to this for myself, like your biggest mess or your biggest, most impactful thing that you feel has given you a lot of stuffing to stand up straight and tall in your backbone?
What gives me this stuff?
Like what was your biggest mess that you overcame and learned from, where you like, I've got balls, I can do this?
You know, for me, honestly, it's all the big bad wolves that have shown up in my life that wasn't just one. It's a combination of all of them, and having gone through them. And I say this to people because the biggest lesson I've learned in life is in regards to capacity. And actually, I think this was probably our last really huge conversation that you and I had regarding our sons when we drove to wine country for that birthday.
Yeah.
And just sort of things that happen in our life that you just go, why? Oh my gosh, why? Are you kidding me? Why?
Yeah.
How can this be? And why do I have to go through this? And I had such a clear moment of where an answer came in, and it's because the universe says that you have the capacity, Mo. The universe knew before I did that I would be able to get through it. And so now when bad things happen, I know it's the universe telling me I'm about to grow.
Yeah.
You know,
pains.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I know why it's there. I've at least eliminated the why me.
Yeah. That's huge.
And in fact, I feel like it's a, wow, me, huh?
Oh.
Whoa, you really see me. You know, I have greater capacity that I don't even know that I have. So thank you for this gift of capacity.
I love that.
And so now I will march through, because what I know about my capacity is the universe says I have it. Yeah. And that's a huge gift.
Yeah.
When these bad things happen. So it's like, I can still go, that sucks. This sucks. I don't want this. I don't want to go through this.
Yeah.
All of it. And the pain is going to be there. But at least I go, I'm going to grow. I'm going to have greater capacity. And that is ultimately what I am here on this planet.
That's why we're here.
To do, is to grow and understand my capacity. I believe that's really all I'm here to do, is figure out my own capacity for love, for pain, for, all of it.
Yeah, I've never heard it with the term capacity.
Capacity.
And I love that so much. And I am getting faster and faster from the kick in the stomach, the cry, to, all right, open my mind and heart. Let's get to work.
Yeah.
What am I to learn? Show me. I'm ready to, because I do believe when you get what the lesson has come, that you don't have to get it again.
No, then you have it.
You got that. You get to move on to the next big learning.
There will be different layers to it, that it'll keep happening. As it shows up again in maybe new form. But, it's like the first time when I really realized that I suffer from depression, and went through a very serious dip into the hellhole. Yeah. And did not think I would come out of it. And this was in my 20s. And when I did, the way that served me was that what I then knew was that this too shall pass if you let it. I knew that at that point that if this depression shows up again, and God knows it always does, I know it's going to pass if I let it. I always have to add if
you let it.
If you let it. It's not enough for me. I've learned over the years to just say this too shall pass. It's like, no, you have to let it.
I love that.
You really do have to let it. If you just sit there staring at the face of something and looking at it, it's going to stay there until you let it go.
Yeah.
And move past it.
And you still suffer from depression.
Absolutely.
And what does that mean? Like it comes in waves? Is it cyclical or just an event triggered?
No, it's periods.
Period triggered.
Yeah.
So once a month.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not periods. I'm periods.
I thought meant vaginal periods.
I don't have those anymore.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you go through something? Did you go through menopause?
I don't know.
Okay, because I haven't done that yet. I still have them.
No, I mean, there's been so many weird health things that I don't even know what's what anymore. I don't know how to label it all anymore. It's just, I don't bleed anymore.
All right.
Been a year.
Well, that's good that you don't know, because a lot of people go through hell and all the hot stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so
so the depression is just, it's, I will be immersed in it for long periods of time, and then I'm not, and then I'm back in.
Like weeks?
Months.
Wow.
Sometimes years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big shit.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's just heavy. Like, I just feel like a heavy blanket. Ugh.
Yeah, but it's something I've learned to live with.
To cope with, right?
Yeah, I adjust. Like I was telling you earlier when I came in, it's like, take contrary action, Mo. It's like you feel like laying down and tucking in and pulling the covers over your head. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Go for a walk and let the world get in the way.
I love that.
Yeah, because chances are when you're out for that walk, something little God shots happen, whether it's just somebody walking by and saying hello, or you saying hello to someone who's like, oh, I'm still alive. I just said hello to this person and that felt good.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, and you start breathing different. You take in oxygen the way you need, and it's like, but contrary action is by far one of my most useful tools.
I love that.
Opposite of what my crappy brain is thinking.
I love that.
Yeah.
And even, I was telling you earlier, when I get upset, sometimes I like to, especially with my husband, send text messages in the moment of anger.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I send it and I take a couple breaths. I'm like, why the frick did I send that?
I know. Well, old fashioned. I mean, remember growing up here and count to 10.
Yeah. Just take a pause.
Count to 10.
Or I even like
maybe count to 30.
Even a breath.
Yeah. Take a minute.
Because I hit send and that was my breath. I'm like, oh, shoot, I should have done the breath instead.
Yes.
Because it doesn't do anything good.
No.
Puts him up and I feel worse and it didn't serve any good point.
Yep, exactly.
And I want him to hurt too because I was hurting. And then I'm like,
yeah,
that didn't help. That's not going to bring us closer together.
No. So it is. It's do that contrary action.
And contrary action, I was thinking, besides the take the breath or the moment, is don't send the text.
Yes.
I mean,
which isn't saying like you have to say something nice because
nothing.
But just do nothing.
Don't do it.
Sometimes doing nothing
is so good.
Is not taking, instead of taking that negative, toxic step.
Because sometimes when you're pissed off, you want the other person to hurt too because
you're
hurting. And you're like, why do I have to hold it? I want to beat them up with it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm hurting. But then there's nothing positive in it.
No.
And you can't unsend a text.
No. But, as you go forward with that and you find, eventually down the line, you can even say in a more constructive way, when this happened, it hurt me. You hurt me. I wanted so badly to punch back, but I didn't. But I do want you to know that hurt me.
Yeah. That'd be real mature.
Yeah.
That'd be really evolved.
I know.
I think that's coming.
But it takes time. You have to wait till you're ready to sit and be in that place too. Yeah. Both of you, if it's a two-party system that's having a problem,
it's funny about you because you remind me of Carol Burnett.
Oh Lordy, that's the highest.
Oh yeah, it is the highest compliment.
How come everybody has met her but me?
I know.
Do you know how many on the regular? I see people and it's like, oh,
ran into Carol,
ran into work for Carol, got a hug from Carol. I'm like. And this is where I have to just sit back and go, okay, universe, I want this. maybe I want it. Maybe it wouldn't be what, maybe, I don't know. But
I feel like you two should look at each other in each other's eyes.
I have such a love for her. Yeah. She directed the my life in some ways. She steered it into the direction of love what you do. She was my idol.
You make faces like her.
I know.
You move like her. You look like her.
I feel her inside me.
Oh, that's amazing.
Is that weird?
No.
When I would,
a little bit,
when
but
I
no.
When I would watch Carol, I would understand where I would feel it inside my whole body, the timing of it, the facial, the holding of things. I could feel exactly what she was doing. I can still, I just can feel her.
While you were performing or while you were watching
While I was
her?
watching as a little girl. I could feel it. And then, of course, certainly when I became a performer myself, it was like, I feel her. I feel her. I get it.
That.
And I bet if she was watching me, she would feel my stuff too.
Wow.
I bet she would. I bet she'd feel my timing and where the love of that character stems from. I bet she would get it.
Oh my gosh. In Living Color, right? Was that the name? What was the name of the show you were on?
Carol, Mad TV.
Oh, what is In Living Color? Was it a show on at the same time as Mad TV?
Before it, but Fox. That was another Fox sketch show.
That just popped out of my pie hole. But you were so damn funny on that.
Thanks.
The character when you were the mom. I'm the worst at remembering things. But
Stuart's mother.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
And that reminded me of her too. Mm-hmm. But even seeing you now do stuff on stage makes me laugh. Or your faces are... So I met her, right? I didn't want to say that, but you know. But did you know I met her?
Wait, where did you meet her?
So Steve Carell was having some lunch celebrating he got an Academy Award or a Star on the Fame or something really big.
Yeah.
And Dave was invited and I went to Dave's date and I looked across the room and I saw Leigh Majors, who was my heartthrob. I think my mother's heartthrob, my dad's maybe too.
Yeah.
He was the sexiest
oh
thing,
my
the $6 million man. I was like, holy shit, it's Leigh Majors. And And then I let my eyes wander and I locked eyes with Carol Burnett. And my heart started pounding because I did not have the same thing you had with her. I had more being young and not having a mom, but seeing her.
Oh, and she was so
alive and in her element and so alive and living her life. And I was like watching her like, look what's possible.
I know. And she's so kind.
So I looked at her and she kind of smiled and looked away. And she was with this kind of young guy, maybe her security guy, maybe her boyfriend, maybe her driver. He's like this French kind of handsome, 20 years younger. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so she was with him. And all that I thought in my mind was, I have to touch her.
Oh my gosh.
That was all. I have to touch her. How am I going to touch her before that French security guy gets her out of here?
That's hilarious.
And how will it be appropriate?
Yeah.
And so Leigh Majors came over because I thought I had to kiss him on the mouth.
Yeah.
And I had to touch Carol. So Leigh Majors came over to Dave and started talking.
Oh my gosh.
And we ended up, his wife and I exchanging numbers and we had dinner the next night.
No way. That's hilarious.
At the Palm. And I'm sitting there and he's telling stories about Sinatra and Farrah Fawcett. And I'm just sitting there like,
good grief.
And he looks gorgeous still.
Wow.
And after dinner, we went to the valet and our car was coming and I looked at Leigh and I thought, I'm never going to see these two again. I got to kiss him on the mouth. So I said, Leigh, could I kiss you on the mouth? And he said, sure. And I kissed him on the mouth and I turned and dove into my car and yelled, punch it. And Dave's like, why? I said, I just mouth kissed Leigh Majors. And he's like, honey, I'm probably the only one you should be running from after that happened. Like, why do I have to drive fast?
That's hilarious.
But I never thought I'd see him again. Then we saw him the next night at an event.
Oh my gosh.
And I ran and hid because his wife, I felt so embarrassed.
Oh my gosh.
And then we saw them again.
Wow.
And I went up and said, I want to apologize for mouth kissing your husband, but I've had a crush on him forever. And it was, I'm sorry. And she was like, I thought it was hilarious. And
there's
no problem.
And probably not the first time that's happened.
No, I was like, well, that's what you get for marrying the $6 million man. But anyway, Carol, she was going to leave. And I looked at her and I said, can I touch you? And she kind of squinted and I said, can I hug you? And she was like, and she just shook her head and said yes. And I went over to her and put my arms around her and whispered in her ear, thank you for owning your gift and for sharing it with us. And she said, well, you're welcome, precious. You're welcome.
Oh.
And we had a little thing and she walked away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, maybe it's on purpose that I haven't met her yet, because I think I might act. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd bawl my eyes out. I know
Yeah.
that. And in fact, here's how I know is like, I was at an awards show for dance years ago, sitting in the back of an auditorium, and she was brought out to introduce Bob Mackie.
Wow.
And I didn't know she was going to be introducing somebody. And she walked out onto the stage. I'm in the back of an auditorium. I started bawling. My head had to go between my knees so I wouldn't pass out. I had like a full-on Beatles effect. So, and then another time I got an email. I was in New York City and I was in the back of a limo and had gotten an email.
You're ritzy.
Huh?
You're ritzy. Award shows and limos.
Jeez,
Damn, girl, you got to
I
go.
know. Whose life is this anyway? But I get this email while I'm sitting back there that Carol Burnett was perhaps going to be a guest on Parks and Rec, and I was going to get to do a scene with her.
No.
And there too, what happens? I threw my phone. Like I have real reactions. I threw my phone, started crying, and threw myself onto the floor of the limo. I was sober. Like I have these reactions like this, like that are traumatic.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I saw Vicki Lawrence once, and just the proximity of,
Did you cry?
I did.
Head down?
I was we were both there to test for a pilot.
Oh.
Like my head was completely nowhere I see Vicki Lawrence and oh my gosh, pilot.
Not because it's Vicki Lawrence, but because she's one touch from
my idol, from the number one. And I went up, after finally got the balls up, because it's like, wow, okay, this is a situation. We're not on, we're both here testing for a pilot. We could be working together. But I went into the bathroom, cried, figured it out, and came back out and I just want to thank you, like I couldn't handle my shiz.
I wonder.
So I don't know.
I wonder when you actually meet her, if you're going to have worked through it enough of the practice runs.
I don't know. Maybe it's best I don't.
Maybe it's best.
Yeah.
The universe is waiting until you're ready.
Until I'm, like in a coma and she comes to see me for some odd reason.
I'll bring her to your bedside.
Yeah.
Remember when
and I'll see her through, whatever mask.
I used to feel that way about Oprah Winfrey, because I feel like she was kind of my mom and raised me.
Oh my gosh.
And but here's an interesting thing that's happened. As I've gotten more into the spiritual world and started kind of teaching and doing workshops and finding my wisdom and power, that's not me, but connecting to God that's within me, I'm like, wow, some really good stuff comes out of my pie hole that has never entered my brain. Sometimes I say things, I'm like, glad I'm recording that so I can remember to try that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But as I'm getting in my knowing of why I'm here and what my gifts are, I feel now that she is, what's it called when you work with someone and they're an equal to you?
Not a
component.
no,
Not a
contemporary. She's your contemporary, a colleague.
Yeah. I don't think it was either of those words, but both of those fit.
Yeah.
There was something else that was like the same too, but it's that.
Yes.
That when I see her now, I'll be like, hello, sister.
Right. You get it. Like you get what she's doing. You feel it in that place in the same way that I feel Carol.
Yeah.
I feel Carol on a very core level. But I went from being
excited, shaky, cryy to, I know we're going to do some great stuff together. And I know that one day I'll be on Super Soul Sunday with you sharing how now we are, whatever the word is I want to use, cohorts or compadres or equals or on the same, doing the same thing in a different way. Just interesting for myself to watch my evolution of kind of a fan like that to an understanding that she's my sister in spreading love.
Yeah. I don't know what it's going to take for me to get to that. 'Cause look, I mean, that little girl that's the show that I watched, at after I took my bath on Saturday nights. And if I wasn't there and ready for it, life wasn't good. I got to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Little girl in Minnesota who put so much love into Carol Burnett and everything she was doing with her pals. I got to tell you, it was not lost on me during my Mad TV years that I was living my dream.
Wow.
I got it. I got to do it. And I did it well, you know?
Yes, you did.
And of all things I heard the most about my work was, you remind me of Carol Burnett. You're a younger Carol, you know, it's like, that's big stuff to tell me.
I love that so much.
I did do it. Like, that's how much I took it to heart.
Isn't that
I did
sweet?
It. Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it because of Carol.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. I mean, I feel like Oprah's mine, but it's like, I got it. I'm doing my thing because of the guidance she gave me when I was younger.
I get it. She showed me what it looks like.
Oh.
What does it look like, Carol? And how does it look to do it and be a nice person who does it too? You know, it's like, I'm from Minnesota, where they call it Minnesota nice. And it's like, being nice in Minnesota doesn't really serve you. It doesn't. It's not useful.
What do you mean, being nice? Everyone's nice, it doesn't get them anywhere?
Well, when, you know, the first lessons I really learned in Hollywood are that squeaky wheel gets the oil, you know? And, but I just thought, well,
that's
I'm
true.
going to stay nice.
Nice doesn't get you. Nice doesn't. I'm going to say this. Kindness is great.
Sure.
But you have to voice what you want, speak up. Because I've watched that a lot with my husband. He's a really nice guy. And he would always just be nice to his managers and agents. Then we know another guy who's like, where the hell's my meeting?
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want that job. I better get it. And that guy was getting the jobs.
Right.
Because he was speaking his mind and holding them to their job.
That's how it works.
And then Dave's like, well, I'm going to wait till they call. I don't want to bug him. You know, and is a nice guy, but it's
Midwest.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you have to ask for what you want if you want to get it. You have to go get it.
That was a hard lesson to learn. It's like, you can ask nicely. You can stand up for yourself. Don't misconstrue kindness and being nice the wrong way in this business, you know?
Yeah, I always say I can say anything I want to anyone because it's based in the foundation of love. So I could say something like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And not even be in, or like, did you really, whatever it is that they could be embarrassed about, but I mean it just with such a foundation of love that it's not threatening to the person, and they can just answer me honestly. We can get in a dialogue about stuff, but I'm direct. I'm always direct and ask for what I want and say, fuck it, might as well ask.
Yeah.
But everything's done with a foundation of love, so it's not like I'm a rude asshole, unless I'm being a rude asshole, which is occasional.
Yeah, I learned too how to do it and still be a nice person.
Yeah.
It can be done. That took me a long time to learn it.
Yeah.
It did. It took me a long time to learn it, you know? And
even with my kids now, somebody would say, you know, you need to sit here and wait. And then I stand up and start walking. They're like, Mom, sit down. They said, sit here and wait. I go, A, why? B, don't ever do what you're told just because you're told. C, explore. Look around. Maybe we don't have to wait here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, maybe we don't, but I just see already. And that's not from my teaching. I haven't taught them to sit down and be quiet. That's just how they're created.
Yeah.
And they sit down, they're like, Mom, follow the rules. Be quiet. Why do you always have to talk to everyone? Can't you just be normal? You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
They'll learn, but they're learning from you.
Yes, I like that I'm showing it.
Yes, you're leading by example.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
And, you know, they'll, as they get older, they'll do the same.
And they're teaching me to soften a little bit. That's what I do like is like, I think everyone shows up to teach us stuff. Yeah. And between my husband and my kids, I feel like I'm in a pressure cooker. I'm like that capacity thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, God's knowing that I have a lot to learn. And
yes.
And what I like about it is that I get in and get messy, and then I use it. Yep. To share with people, to let them know you're not alone.
Yeah.
It's all just part of the...
Yeah, you're only alone if you let yourself be alone. There's always someone somewhere. You can find someone anywhere. The world is full of people
100%
who feel like you do.
Oh my gosh.
Who feel like you do.
Yeah.
Craving connection. you know,
Craving connection.
craving connection.
Like we're created to connect.
It's the
We are
greatest
connected,
thing.
actually.
We just lose sight of it in the
And when we
ways that we
forget.
are.
When we forget and isolate is when we
It's
suffer.
the worst. Absolutely. Contrary action. Take that walk. Stop that isolation. Because
Don't
isolate.
send the text.
Don't send the text, Leigh.
Interesting thing about you. Oh, wait. Didn't want to see. Oh, this made me cry.
Whoa.
So I just, I said to her, just answer these questions with like one answer or one sentence because I didn't want. But I said, tell me something special about you. And you put, I am strong and I am weak. And that made me cry
Oh.
because it's so simple and so heartfelt and so true. You know what I mean? Like we're so vulnerable.
Well, it's like when I first looked at it and I went, well, I'm really strong. And I thought, well, that is true, but you're also extremely weak, and then I'm like, I'm both those things,
yeah.
And I'm very much both those things. I'm very, very strong and I can be very, very weak.
And I love to, I'm going to substitute the word for weak because I think being human is right, just being all of it.
Yeah.
But instead of weak, I'm going to substitute for myself because I related to that so much, vulnerable. Because I know that I'm strong as shit because I'm connected to God like we all are. We got that little chip inside of us.
Yeah.
That we can't shake. Like even when we feel alone, that's the connecting thread through everything.
Yeah.
That power. But the vulnerability is allowing yourself to be soft and to cry and to hurt and to
be fearful. Like that's, fearful is another one. That's like I have fear sometimes, and that's something I constantly have to get a hold of, I guess.
and fear.
Be strong, I'm strong because I'm weak. I'm strong because I'm weak.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like I've the light because of the dark.
had to learn how to be strong because of the moments in my life that made me that brought me to my knees.
Yeah.
I learned how to get up over and over and over again. It's so real, that getting up.
Don't you feel like, or do you feel like when you get up, you're just a little taller, a little stronger?
Yes, absolutely. It's that capacity. I keep coming back to it.
Holy shit.
Absolutely.
I'm all this.
It is. It's like when you get up and you're like, oh, I did it again.
Uh-huh.
I got up again.
Uh-huh. And I'm like, happiness and joy, it's like
Oh my God.
Happiness is like a respite from learning.
Yes.
Right? You're like, woo,
that is the
good.
best you can hope for. Because otherwise, I don't know what happiness is. A fleeting, it's a party and having a great time with people. But true happiness is, to me, actually content.
Yeah.
Being content is happiness to me.
Yeah.
That I don't
The
need to
learning
ride some
comes and you
high
get
bar.
derailed, yeah. And then it's
But,
like, all right,
to just go,
get back on.
I don't have anything drastic
Yes.
to fix.
Yeah. Today I can just enjoy myself.
Oh my goodness, I don't have to really panic about something or overcome something. I can exist today
Yeah.
and just be neutral. That's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neutral. So that does not resonate with me. I was trying to think neutral. I was like, neutral. How does that feel to be neutral?
To just, I guess, to not have to
I guess
fall into fears.
Not depressed or not over the top.
In the middle.
Just right in the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah.
It becomes happy.
I think that's
becomes
happy.
up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what this is anymore. There's certainly moments of this crazy like leap up, but that's not a sustainable place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
You can't sustain that.
That's right.
No matter how many drinks. No matter how many things I put.
Wake up and you're back down there.
Absolutely.
It does make me giggle if I get a hangover. I'm like, you're 52.
Yeah, I know.
How much longer? But I don't drink like I used to. Like it's not debilitating. But on occasion,
I think about sometimes how crazy I used to drink. It's just amazing.
I know.
And I used to think that I was a real superwoman too, doing it. I really did.
Some girl asked me if I read the book called, I can't remember, blah, blah, blah. And it was about drinking. I think it's some girl's guide to quit drinking or something. I don't know. But it talked about how alcohol is poison. It's like actually only poison. There's
Right.
not one redeeming thing about it for you.
No.
And that if you put in enough poison that you get numb. And I just thought that's interesting. You know, I think about that now while I'm sipping my martini. I'm like, wow, how interesting. I'm sipping
What's
on
your poison?
hoping for a feeling that...
Isn't it funny? Like in the,
Ah.
what's your poison, lady?
Tito's martini up with blue cheese stuffed olives.
Yeah,
please.
coming right up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is, but it's fun too. But it's learning to whether you can or can't live with it.
Yeah. It's learning to
Not everybody can,
be gentle with yourself. Take care of yourself.
and those around you.
Yeah. And I think if you do it here first, then you're better with those.
Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes I think that when you don't feel you have enough value yourself,
Oh, yeah.
you can't find yet self-love.
Oh, yeah.
So you look to those around you and give it to them. And that's when you go, oh, I did nice things. That self-love is coming back.
Oh, wow. Oh, so I see. When you give, you get kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I have to be full to give. I mean, to take care. I have to take care of myself because if I don't have enough sleep or I'm spinning or crazy,
Yeah.
I'm not much value to anyone around me.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes when I'm at my emptiest is when I'm so much better at giving.
Oh, because they say that's a contrary action you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
Like, if
because
you're
it
feeling
ends
like
up
shit,
saving me. It's like
serve someone.
I'll go overboard in the other direction of helping people because when I got nothing, when
Hey.
I'm feeling nothing.
I'm a big receiver, so if you need to give something to someone to feel better, I'm
Yeah.
here for you.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm here for you.
Absolutely.
That's my name.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I think when I booked you, because you make me laugh my ass off, I forgot how deep and profound and cool you are.
Well, thank you for starters. And I can say the same about you. And I would also say that the times that we see each other are in situations where it's jovial. It's
Yeah.
the holidays and
Yeah.
people are around and people are having a good time and
then
drinking
we can just
and
laugh.
And we have had wonderful laughing times. And the few times that you and I have had the
Yeah.
opportunity to jaw, as they say,
Yeah.
we most certainly have.
Yeah, we get in it.
We go right down in it.
Yeah.
And like
In the mess.
get that trunk open and start looking at stuff.
That's right.
We have done that, which is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, but we just have not had a lot of those opportunities
I know. I
lately.
miss you.
I'm right. I'm 1 minute away.
IBRO.
1 minute. IBRO.
We
1 minute.
We have a joke that she lives down the street for years now, her and Alex. And every time they post something, I write IBRO.
Yeah.
I'll be right over. And I never go and she never comes. So she came today and she's like, IBRO.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's actually happened.
It
You're
just
here.
it took years.
I had to start a podcast to get your ass over here.
No, you didn't.
No,
I would have come.
That's right. I guess
would have
just to
come.
invite you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I came to your house at Christmas. And I have to say, we have to wrap it up. But one of my favorite things every Christmas and every holiday season, we used to do it at Thanksgiving as well with Jerry and Lori, is singing with you
Yes.
and your husband.
Yes.
Because we're all scream singers. We like to scream loud and sing loud and get into it. And you guys harmonize and I can't harmonize. I try to
my
hold a
favorite
melody,
part.
but I try so
I
hard
can't
to
sing, but I can
harmonize.
harmonize.
I love it so much. So that's something that just brings me such joy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll have a
that's
karaoke party or something and get your asses over here.
Oh, good Lord.
Doesn't that sound fun?
Yes.
I'm gonna get a new karaoke.
We karaoke
system.
all the time over at Billy, who lives next door to us.
Oh, I don't know him.
Billy Butler.
He lives by you?
Next door.
Shut it.
Next door.
That's your like best man friend.
We got him in, as soon as we found that place was going to be open for rent. We're like, you are going in there. Yes.
Is he over all the time?
Yes.
Can I come over?
Yes.
Can I come over and karaoke with you guys?
Yes.
Oh no, seriously, that would bring me so much joy.
Lee.
The first time I might cocktail.
But this might. Oh,
Let me get intoxicated a little bit.
We do.
Okay.
We have a great. We're right next door. It's easy.
That
do you know what I mean?
excites me. Like every single
Yes.
time you post anything, he's the first one to comment. And you two and I was jealous of your love relationship.
We're
Oh, that makes me so
yeah.
happy.
It's our community. It's our little community there. Yeah.
we're going to wrap it up. I'm coming to your house for karaoke.
Yes.
All BRO.
IBROK.
And if you would join me. And I'm so glad we had
This time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.